Hi there, Shawna Karrasch with an Ask Shawna answer coming to you from North Carolina, Southern Pines to be exact. Anyway, so this question comes from Carol, and she says, do you have a solution for stopping pawing? My halflinger does this on the cross ties when I'm trying to groom him. I've gotten many suggestions from forums online, but I would like to hear your suggestions. I enjoy your videos and am following many of your clicker training directions. Yay! Well, that's awesome. That's always nice to hear. I love to be able to be of help. Now, pawing is a bit of a challenge here, and because we tend to want to deal with it in different ways, or other people want to deal with it in different ways. The best way to ignore pawing, from what I've seen, by and large, I mean, we can have different cases, but by and large, the best way I've seen to have pawing go away is to ignore it. So to ignore it and not correct it, not draw attention to it, not stop what you're doing, but on the other side of that coin, to draw attention to when he's standing quietly. So it takes a little bit of repetition, because a horse who's pawed continually for a while, for some reason it works for them. It soothes them. It's been reinforcing for one way, shape, or form. So there is a long history of them wanting to do that and them getting something out of it. So now what we need to do is I look at his scales are out of whack. So there's a lot of weight on the side of the scale. It says pawing. It says, I like to paw. I have a good, strong history here. And what we need to do every time we get a chance to reinforce them for not pawing, those scales are going to get a little bit, they're going to start shifting and getting kind of rebalanced. And pretty soon, there's going to be more reinforcement on the side of the scale that says don't paw. So, but it's going to take a little bit to shift it for one who has a long balance or a long history of that. So, like I said, I want you to, as much as possible, ignore the pawing as much as possible and draw attention to the times when he's not pawing. Now, let's say, and this is something, and what is hard here, I got to tell you, is a lot of times when people teach you to do something with pawing, they teach you to come correct it. And what we're doing, you're drawing attention to it. They're getting attention, even if it's not the best attention. It's like a little kid playing with he's standing quietly, or he's sitting, at dinner with his family. Let's say a little kid. His mom and dad are talking about business, and he's being good, or the neighbors, or whatever they're talking about, but adult conversation. And then he's not getting attention. Pretty soon, he's starting to cause trouble until he gets fussed at, because sometimes any attention is better no attention. Another example of this is there's a horse. He was an Olympic horse, actually, a dressage horse, and he had an issue with pawing. So what would happen is when the groom would go in to get the tack, the horse would start pawing. So she would come running out and correct him, and it keeps getting worse. He keeps pawing. So pretty soon she didn't walk out. Pretty soon she's running out. Pretty soon she's running out and getting stronger, and pretty soon she's even correcting him by trying to hit his legs a little bit lightly, but she doesn't know what to do. She's frustrated and is really trying to get the right thing. So I was asked, what should we do about this? And I said, well, I think, something's reinforcing him, and I think it's your presence. And she said, no, I'm coming out and I'm correcting him kind of harshly. But the behavior is increasing in frequency. That's the bottom line. So the solution there was to stay in the tack house until he was quiet. And then when he was quiet, to come out. So he started learning, if I want my groom, my human, to come back, the fastest, best way to get him back is to stand quietly. So in that situation, it was pretty black and white. A lot of times when they're pawing, when you're right next to them and you're doing things or grooming, I kind of pay attention to what area that is that I'm grooming. And maybe there's a sensitivity there, maybe it's a girth area, maybe it's, I don't really know. But a lot of times what happens when we're grooming and they paw, we have a tendency to stop and correct them. So something in there is reinforcing them. So by and large, if you can ignore it. The other problem is, like I have a horse, Bugs, who paws. Well, he came to me with this pawing issue, and consistency is key. Inconsistency reinforces things. So doing it one way, one time, and trying to have different approaches is the most reinforcing thing you can do. Consistency is the least reinforcing thing you can do. So what would happen is when they would come, and I would ignore it, and then the other people that were there and the other grooms that handle him sometimes when I'm not there, or even when I go away for a minute, if he starts pawing, they come up and fuss at him, but they're giving him attention. He gets them to come over and interact with him for a minute. So it's very challenging for me to get it corrected, because I'm doing it one way, they're doing another. So now sometimes he gets reinforced, sometimes he doesn't. That's more reinforcing than anything. So it can be a challenge. But anyway, that's the best way to do it. Also, my friend, Dr. Sue McDonald, She's from the University of Pennsylvania, New Bolton Center. She wrote an article about that, and it was the same thing that she found too in that big barn with lots of different people. So that's the best thing to do, and it's a little bit of a challenge, but if you can figure out what might be reinforcing him, what the catalyst might be, that would be the best thing. Anyway, there you go. And as usual, I hope this helped you out. And if you have any questions, you or anybody else, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me at askshawna.com. And until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.